HeyImAmethyst here. For those who are returning, welcome back to another video on my channel. And for those who are new here, welcome. So there has been some updates to the whole 3DS LARPer situation. Like if anybody have seen my previous video where I talked about like an individual on YouTube, like I was responding to that video and like explaining why his takes on like his statements are harmful and really gatekeepy, and that I got some like really positive responses from that video. One of the creators that I mentioned in that video actually like responded, like left a comment in my video underneath the video and like shared it with her community. Like I am like really um happy that with the response that it got and how much people agreed with what I've been saying in that video. I also made like a quick additional statements in like my new 3DS video that I posted about 11 days ago, and it had some more like, yeah, like I just kind of like expanded on that. It were thoughts that I just said because I didn't say them in the first video that I made posted, but the person in question, the man in question, ended up responding underneath my video. I didn't think it was getting enough attention. Normally when I'm like talking about stuff on YouTube, I don't really get the people like the people that I'm responding to, I never have them comment underneath my video, you know. So I was kind of surprised that he even saw the video. And originally I was just going to respond underneath his comment because I had some issues with what he said underneath that comment. At first it seemed polite, but then there was some stuff that I was like, maybe I should just respond to the comments, and I was going to do that in the morning at like this morning today, like as I'm recording this video. Like that was my original plan because he sent that well after I go home from work and it was late. I was getting ready for bed. I read it. I saw it. I read it. And I was like, I'll respond in the morning. And then I get another notification, and this man responded to Nana's comment, you know, because she commented and I commented below her comments. And this man done acting like a smartass underneath her comments, and they were going back and forth. And what he said, honestly, that don't piss me off even further. So yeah, I am just going to get straight on into the video. I I'm feeling a lot better now, thankfully, and I'm not sick. Well, I'm currently suffering from allergies. I guess that's kind of a bit of a sickness, but I'm at home. I'm not suffering. I'm not dying. I haven't gone outside yet. I have planned to do errands, but I just wanted to record this right quick before I go out and get stuff done and probably edit this like as fast as I possibly can because I do have class later. So we'll see. You might see this in the middle of the day or late at night, who knows. Now, so I'm going to be really heated. I'm going to cuss a lot. I mean, I'm sure if you've been on this channel before, I do curse. So if you're not comfortable with that, you could leave. But yeah, I am going to talk about some serious topics in this video, fair warning, because this is kind of a serious situation with the topics that I'm going to talk about. So yeah, now without further ado, I'll just get straight on into the video. Just let me change the scenery a bit. Ta-da! Here I am, in the flesh. Well, not all of me. In editing, I'll put a thing over my face because I'm not comfortable showing my face on the internet. So no face reveal. You'll get everything else, but no face reveal. I'm doing it this way to really emphasize and drive home that this is coming from an African American woman. So
what I'm saying, it's not coming out of my ass. This is coming from experiences. What I'm going to talk about, this is coming from experiences that I've seen while being on the internet in general. So yeah, if like I said in the previous clip, I was originally just going to respond to this person in the morning and just leave it at that, and just if he replied again, I'll probably just keep it in the comments. But considering that this man is doubling down on his attitude when it comes to certain things, I think it would just be better that I make a video responding to this person and also explaining to the rest of y'all why this type of thinking is harmful and why it's like misogynistic. So I'm going to, because when I first got the notifications that he is responding to underneath my video, like um I took screenshots because if anybody has seen my previous videos before, I mentioned I've been in the art commentary community, like, and with the shit that goes on there, I tend to screenshot anything that I find interesting or anything that happens, just in case I might eat them later, because of incidents where people would just post shit and then delete it after, and then you wouldn't be able to capture what they say because they believe it, deleted it, trying not to get caught. Um, but yeah, so I'm just gonna read the first message that he sent. He didn't delete the comments, thankfully. So, I'm reading this from underneath like my actual like YouTube video, right? So this isn't a screenshot. Like I'm actually like reading this. I might put like screenshots of the comments in editing because this camera is not exactly the best camera. I'm using my tablet camera. I don't have a good camera. So this footage may look weird. My voice might sound weird because I'm using a cheap tablet. Well, not cheap, cheap, but not professional recording equipment. So this is the first comment that I saw, like the first comment that he posted, and he said, "Hey, I watched your video all the way through, and I get where you come from. I have to say, I never expected the video to do that well in the first place. People took it so serious as if I am some sort of 3DS authority. Meanwhile, I was just some random guy with not even 400 subs at the time. I don't even mind the hate comments since it works wonders for my video and my channel. Hate comments. Most of the comments giving you criticism underneath that video, they weren't just hate comments. There were comments calling out your gatekeeping, comments that I've shown in the previous video where I was talking about you. Like there weren't just hate comments throwing insults at you, being absolute dickheads. No, they were comments giving out valid criticism, giving out valid points, pointing out why your statements were wrong and why they were harmful. And you're just saying that they're hate comments? Now, for those who are familiar with me and my channel and have watched the previous videos where I've talked about um uh 𝗧𝗶𝗱𝗀𝘀𝘁 and the animator dude, I forget his name. Andre. With Andre was saying like, oh, all these hate comments, I don't have to listen to those, they're good for engagement anyway. Like I could finally, you know, this, that, and the third. And it's the same bullshit behavior that I've seen before, and that already has pissed me off. Like that's already pissed me off because that shows that that they're that shows that they're not taking these comments seriously. And to see it coming from Mainways, like that statement alone already tells me already that I need to know that this person isn't taking the criticism well and is just lumping everybody into the category of a hater. And I'm like, it's not like people are out here harassing and attacking you. There have been multiple, more than one. There's just been a group of people telling you that you're gatekeeping, that what you said about the comments you said about decorating your 3DS was shit, and this is how you respond, saying that they're haters. I I can probably show you some more comments showing that there's still more people responding, calling him out, saying that what he was saying was just misogynistic and just not great. Um, but moving on, my video started as a silly idea about some 3DS uses patterns I've noticed, like a Pinterest creators having a sticker 3DS. But the more I thought about it, the more the potential had. The Kai situation was just a few months ago, and the word LARP became trending at the time. So I believe that there Nana and then another person, I don't know where I've seen the comments, but they were even saying that LARP wasn't even being used correctly. So people were just saying LARP but not really understanding what the word truly means. So if that became trending at the time, like I would understand with the Kai situation. Like I said in the other video, I don't know that much about Kai. I don't know that much about the dude, but my comments regarding the comments that I did make regarding it, I still stand by those comments. Like there's no reason to you like in his instance, because there's nuance in every situation. Like there's no I don't really see a problem with people taking videos on their 3DS and posting them online as long as they're having fun. But in this instance, considering that he had I don't think he had shown any previous interest within the 3DS community or within the 3DS at all, like even if he just used it to play some games, like to kind of use it in this way and post it in this way with no explanation as to why he decided to go this route, then that's a little sus. That's a little sus, and I would understand why he was trying to get some attention from that, right? Like if he just said, "Oh, I'm going to be using the 3DS to record because this and this and this and this, and I wanted to try something new," like I wouldn't have a problem with that, and honestly, nobody else should have a problem with that. But considering how he decided to do that, I would be raising an eyebrow at that. But still, like for anybody else who wants to record on their 3DS and just post it online, I don't really think that's something that people should, you know, um, complain about, especially if they might not have any other alternatives to record. Like yes, I know everybody has a phone nowadays, but especially in this political climate and how prices are rising and everything, like if your phone is kind of broken, maybe their camera is broken or whatever, but you can't afford to fix it or something else entirely, or you're trying to not use your phone for stuff, like I completely understand, but you have your 3DS and you want to mess around with your 3DS, then yeah, I mean, you know. So, moving on to the rest of the comment, no one had made a video on the topic yet, etc. It was also a good way to show off that I'm experienced with the 3DS and know what I'm talking about. It made sense to push the video into more of a rant direction. I get that I came off as a gatekeeper, which is valid, not gonna lie. I was criticizing a bunch of common behaviors surrounding the 3DS and then ended the video saying that I'm not a 3DS elitist. Of course, I didn't sit right with the people I actually caught out, so I could have done that differently. So, well, with people, well, of course, it didn't sit well with the people you were talking about, because like I said in the previous, where I said in my first video responding to the whole thing, you can't say you're not an elitist, but then throw out language that's saying that if you do this, then you're this, and this, and this. If you do this, you're this, and this, and doing it in such negative tone, saying that, oh, I am better than thou, or something like that. Like, you can't just say that and expect people not to get mad, and saying, "Oh, of course it didn't sit well with people I actually called out," because that's your language is what made them upset. You can't say such things and say you're not elitist and expect people not to get mad at you. Like, I don't understand why this is so hard to comprehend. And he said, "So I could have done that differently." Well, I'm glad that you're acknowledging that you could have done that differently, but considering how you've called everybody who was criticizing you, like the criticism that you got as haters, I'm not really sure how, if you understand that what you said wasn't the best. I'm not really sure that you fully comprehend that what you said was mean and gatekeeping and a bit misogynist. Like, for how long the video has been out already, and you said that you recognize you could have done it differently. Why the fuck have you made an update video saying that, oh, I posted the video but I came out as being an ass and I was trying to do this. Why haven't you done that yet? You posted a previous video after another video after that video, um but you have yet to, like, you're it seems like you're seeing that people aren't happy with your video, and you haven't added like an update. You haven't pinned a comment saying an update saying, "Oh, I recognize that this video may have came off as, like, this and this." Like, I'm gonna check to see. Like, he still hasn't yet to put up like a pinned comment saying, like, "I understand that this video didn't come out, that didn't generated a lot of, like, anger." So why haven't you updated? Why didn't you make a pin comment? Why didn't you make an update video? Like, you could have done differently. Like, are you on the process of doing that? Like, but moving on, the video basically is just a list of things I wouldn't do myself as a content creator, and people somehow twisted that into me being a misogynist. It wasn't just you saying of stuff that you wouldn't do. You were actively shaming people for using the 3DS how they want to do it. You were actively shaming people of how they use their 3DS just because you don't use it the same way. And of course, what you said was misogynistic because the haven't you did you not rewatch the video? Do you not remember the tone you used when you were talking about um people posting their sticker bombed consoles on Pinterest and everywhere else? Like, didn't you see, like, the attitude? Didn't you see, like, I have that clip saved. Like, I showed that clip on my previous video. How can you not see that that was misogynistic? How can you not see that that was misogynistic? Mm. So, and, like, the comment continues. Like, literally, who I am to tell people. Like, literally, who am I to tell people how to use their 3DS? You were shaming people for how they used their 3DS in your in your 3DS art video. Like, I don't understand. Anyways, I love to explain the video and myself a bit more if you're open to that. Should I send you a DM on Instagram? Now, originally I was just going to respond to these comments, and also because if anybody is aware, I'm trying to move away from Google. I'm trying to move away from Microsoft. I'm trying to move away from all these big giant oligarch corporations because they're collecting our data and using it to harm us. If you haven't been paying attention to the news, oh, what the fuck just happened with my? I'm all I'm all dark and shit all of a sudden. Okay, so I had to move my tablet a little bit because it suddenly got dark. I don't know what happened. there's no setting for me to adjust the exposure while it's recording. So I'll whatever happens, I'll figure that out in editing. But like, yeah, I don't use Instagram and all those things because I'm trying to move away from social media and stuff like that, or at least most social media, because all the time, especially with the political climate right now, like, a lot of these spaces have just been intentionally red pilled. And as a black as an African American woman who doesn't practice Christianity and is on the autism spectrum, like neurodivergent, ADHD, all that stuff, that fun stuff. Like, it's a scary time to be on the internet, and I can't deal with people sometimes. I have no patience, So I do have a Twitch that I still use, but most of the time I just link the new website I made. I have a guest box and then I added a chat bot. But I'm not sure how people are comfortable using that stuff because a lot of people are used to the social medias and everything. So coming to like an indie website and it doesn't have a comment section, it has a chat bot or chat box and then a guest box, but not a true like commenting system like how YouTube and Instagram and all these other social media sites have. It might be a little bit weird to use. I'm sorry. I did this for my protection. I did this for my sanity and for my data, and for my privacy. I am sorry. But if you are interested in my looking at my website, it is linked in the description below. I do encourage more people to make their own websites and make their own communities and also learn how to code. I think that's really important. I think we need more people, especially women in STEM. Yes. Um but yeah, like I have an Instagram but I don't use it. I don't post on there. I don't respond to any messages on there. So if you somehow find my Instagram and you send me a DM, I'm not gonna respond. I'm sorry. But yeah, that was the whole of the first comment that Mainways had sent. And then he responded to Nana's comment that she posted. So I'm just going to read Nana's comments so that you guys can have the full like picture of the conversation. So yeah, so she said, I had no idea that man made a video about LARPing. Thanks for keeping us informed. I quickly skimmed through his video, and there was definitely a lot of performative videos and people in this genre, but it makes up the smallest percentile. I also noticed that he said good 3DS users or influences were from other men with their basic looking 3DSs, and the bad slash performative ones were the more girly, feminine ones, which confirmed everything I already knew. And I've seen that. I've seen that. Um, so they hate that we're the ones getting the most views and we make up the bigger demographic in gaming right now. Dare I say the face of cozy gaming, retro gaming, and just regular gaming in general, period. Companies are looking into us more than ever now. And yes, that is true. But just to add on to that, Not Malcolm has made some really good videos on the dark side of cozy gaming. So I'll link their videos. I'll put like screenshots of what they look like and I'll link them in the description below. And I'll also link my video of um my issues with Dinkum as well because I feel like not a lot of people are talking about Dinkum. Everybody was talking about all these new cozy games that came out, but nobody was talking about Dinkum, and I think that there needs to be more people talking about this because it's just an issue of representation and colonization that I think more people need to like address and confront. So I'll link my video and Not Malcolm's videos in the description in case you guys want more information on that. But yes, companies are noticing us now, but at the same time, it seems like a lot of companies are just using us as a way to like exploit us too. The amount of underbaked cozy games that we've been getting is just been astounding, as well as gotcha games like these new gotcha games they're trying to present themselves as cozy games that are up and coming. Like the whole issue with Heartopia, like I'm glad I didn't like get into that space. Like I wasn't really interested. I wasn't really too interested, but then I had the thought maybe I should like check it out. But I'm glad I stayed away from it because holy shit, holy shit, the amount of racism and predatory monetization on there, and the fact that the dev teams aren't are pretty much encouraging that, um and partaking themselves in the racism, and also with their whole business predatory monetization. Like I'm glad I didn't touch it. Like y'all, if y'all haven't gotten into Heartopia, and you stumble across this video, don't. So yeah, like yeah, companies are noticing us now, but we're currently in the problem of like these problematic companies trying to like make a profit off of us. And I think um us in the community, us girls in the community, needs to like let these companies know that we deserve quality games, we deserve better, and we will not stand by when we're just being taken advantage of. So we just want to put that out there. So the comment continues. Those Pinterest videos have been up for years, and I know a lot of these people have had those consoles since launch. So please, yes. So you see all these pictures on Pinterest, but you don't know how long they've been up there. You don't know who's behind these pictures, and then all the other stuff that I mentioned in the previous video. You can't gather everything about a person or the person behind a photo or a video just from like alone. They aren't telling who they are, they aren't showing, they're not giving any additional information about themselves aside from what they're choosing to show to us. And like I said in the previous video, not everybody wants to reveal their whole selves on the internet. um as you can see from this video alone, I'm here in front of the camera, but I'm not showing my face because I don't like showing my face. And also with the current issue going on in the real world right now, I don't want my face. I don't want my face to be used for anything. I don't want people looking at my face. I don't want my face to be used for anything dangerous, So I don't want my face to be used without permission. So it's covered. You ain't gonna see shit. So the day comes and I'm comfortable sharing my face and it's safe to do so, then I'll let you know. But as of right now, I'm not comfortable showing my face, so yeah, I'm sorry. But moving on, the lonely male epidemic is sweeping through all sectors of the internet and world. Unfortunately, now it's become more evident in gaming and different hobbies in general, which is true. It's really comical that he wants to get on Kai and other people that want to record themselves using their own device at concerts, homes, parks, or anywhere. Yeah, I already said that beforehand. I already said my piece on that beforehand. God forbid we're playing all the games in a franchise, child. So yeah, like um so with me, like I have a lot of games. I have another creator had like mentioned this too. Um uh, um what was it? Work. It was YouthNet. So she also responded. I know she watched the same video that I responded to because she made some comments that I'm like, she watched that video. So a lot of people have seen that video, and she mentioned like a lot of games where she would start games and then not finish them. That's kind of like how I am with my ADHD. I keep bouncing around my games and I bounce around my hobbies. I need to get back into certain things and lock the fuck back in because I have a lot of stuff that I need to do and I need to finish, but like not enough attention span, not enough time, not enough energy to do all that I want. You know, just an issue with autism and ADHD. The ADHD, not medicated because can't afford. So anyway, yeah, like I can't, like I have so many games that I've started but I haven't finished, but I keep bouncing around them. But I'm working on trying to finish my games and stuff like that. And that's just a personal thing that I'm working on. And whatever comments like about whether people are a real fan just for, you know, playing all the games and stuff like that. Like I've seen somebody a situation on Twitter, like while I was just browsing for, because like Tomodachi Life came out and I was like trying to, you know, legally obtain the game. um it was leaked on Twitter and I was like, you know, looking, I was like I was like researching on that. But before, like I saw like a thing where people were like coming after a creator because she took a long time to like play a game, and they're saying, "Oh, she's a fake fan because she didn't play this game." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "What the fuck?" Because there's multiple there's multiple situations that could arise that might prevent somebody from like playing a game. Like I'll share from like personal experience. While I was growing up, I had no money to like buy my own games and play my own games. I only had the games that my mom would buy. So, but I got into Five Nights at Freddy's. And I didn't play the games, but I became a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's, and I began watching Let's Plays and um watching MatPat's videos and stuff like that. Even though I haven't played the games, I've interacted with the community enough to know about the story and everything, even without playing the games. So playing the games, while it would be nice to play the games, it's not required because there are situations that may happen in one's life that may prevent somebody from attaining the game, whether it be, you know, money, time, etc. You know. So same situation here. Just because you haven't played all the games of the franchise or played all the games that exist on the 3DS, it doesn't mean you're not a 3DS fan. With the amount of games that are on the 3DS anyway, it's kind of impossible unless you have a lot of free time on your hands. Like honestly. So so moving on, it said, with all that yapping I did, I appreciate your video. Definitely going to subscribe and hit on your videos, which I really appreciate. Thank you, Nana. You, you know, like I never, you know, when I post videos on YouTube, I never really expect them to get like a lot of attention. So when I'm getting attention, I don't know how to like, I don't really know how to like proceed with that because I tend to like be in my own little hermit crab shell. I don't exactly know how to social, so I don't. So, you know, just having people like respond, like having her respond with that comment, it really made put a smile on my face. Um, yeah, and then I responded saying, "I know, right? I feel like the part where he was talking about young girls and women decorating their own consoles sounded misogynistic. Like, bro, it's such a non-issue. I'm definitely gonna post my video on me decorating my new 3DS tomorrow at some point, and I don't care if I'm performative or posting a video sharing a hobby I love doing. I did add some more thoughts on the matter in that video too." So then after I posted that comment, he posted another comment underneath Nana's comments. Like this dude said, "I think it's kind of impressive that people took such offense to my video." So impressive? Are you not fucking understanding why your video got so much criticism? Are you not understanding that the comments that you said in that video were out of pocket, that that were gatekeeping, that were misogynistic, that were just mean and wasn't necessary? Are you not fucking understanding why people are upset? I I if they take offense from some guy with not even 400 subs saying about the 3DS, I think they shouldn't be on the internet at all. To be honest, fuck you, bruh. Like like y'all, like he don't. This is why I chose not to respond to his original comment and it's just making a video, because he don't make this witch mad. He don't piss me off, and I was like, what the fuck? It doesn't matter how many subs you have. If you're gonna get on this internet and yap, expect to be yapped back. Expect people to respond to you. It don't fucking matter how many subscribers you got. Because if you're gonna say bullshit on the internet, expect people to respond to you. It's a fucking open forum. It's a fucking open forum. If you're gonna post your video and have it be public, anybody has the right to respond to that video, right? Anybody has the right to respond to that video, whether or not they're going to be listened to. Like that's a fucking different matter, and whether and depending on their comment, they might get blocked or banned or hidden. So they can respond, but they're gonna have to accept the consequences of their response. Depending on how they respond. But if you're and the fact that he brought up 400 subs, like, oh, he's just a small YouTuber. Oh, pity me. I'm just a small YouTuber. Fuck you. Fuck you. Don't matter how big or small you are. If you're gonna say crap on the internet, you're no mercy for you. Like, come on. People heard that joke about mostly women putting their stickers on their 3DS and ran with it. Suddenly I'm a misogynist and I hate female game community or something. A fucking joke? A fucking joke. Now, me being the ADHD person that I am, I don't understand jokes most of the time. So nothing in that tone that he said when he was talking about girls decorating the 3DS, there was nothing that indicated, at least to me, that was a joke. And I thought, oh, maybe. And when I read that part, I was like, a joke? It didn't sound like a joke to me. But considering that multiple people besides me were expressing that take that he brought forth was bullshit, then it wasn't just a me problem. Groups of people, multiple people, waves of people were telling you that take was shitty, and you're saying that it was a joke. And even if it was a joke, it was a joke at the expense of women, and that's not fucking funny. That's not fucking funny. That's not fucking funny. I also don't get where the jealousy part comes from, though. I've been posting barely 6 months and it's been working really well. Jealousy? Well, if my channel was flopping, I could get where you're coming from, but right now it seems to be pulled from thin air. Or maybe you're just noticing a pattern with similar creators, but I'm not going to assume anything. Well, yeah, she's noticing a pattern. We all are noticing a pattern when it comes to male creators interacting with female creators. It is a pattern, but apparently it seems like you don't fucking understand. It seems like you don't fucking understand why your takes are harmful. He also goes around, also jokes on you about the male loneliness epidemic part. I have a loving GF of 7 years. That don't mean shit. That don't mean shit. This is giving the same energy of some white person saying, "Oh, but I have black friends." So no. I have black friends, so what I said, like, no. Whether you have a girlfriend, whether you have black friends, it still doesn't excuse you from the offensive shit that you've done or said. It still doesn't excuse you, right? And honestly, if he has a girlfriend, I'm a bit worried for your girlfriend if this is the attitude that you're putting out towards other girls in the space. Like, how can you not understand that this type of attitude is not right? Because if this is the attitude that you have towards girls just participating in the space that you're in, that type of attitude, that's going to bleed into real life, and that's going to affect your girlfriend too, because misogyny affects everybody, whether you like it or not. And I will get more into this later on, but I'm just want to continue on with the thread because mm, so Nana responds saying, "So being critical and having an opinion about something is mistaken for being offended now. Got it. Glad she agrees." Someone's smelling themselves. This isn't only about you. We're talking about the other lames trying to dictate what others are doing with their consoles using the term that doesn't go with what y'all are trying to describe as. If a dog, if a hit dog will holler. Again, my comic wasn't focused only on you. You make a commentary video about what's happening in a small sector of the internet. Therefore, others will have commentary as well. That's just how it works. Exactly. If you're going to post something publicly in the internet, on a public forum, don't be surprised when people respond to you and criticize you if need be. Like, have people not gotten this concept yet? Have people not understood this concept yet? Like, and this is like the same pattern that I've noticed when talking about like the Cocoon video, my issues with issue and the Cocoon launchers. You know, when the creator, like the victim in the situation, was sharing her experience with one of the people on the Cocoon team just being a general asshole, and the rest of the desk coming saying, "Oh, you're just blowing this out of proportion," blah 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 blah. Well, she has a right to express her worries on the internet, especially if that person, that if that team member is going to yap on a public forum, she's going to respond publicly. Like, I don't understand why this is something that y'all can't fucking comprehend. If you're gonna expose yourself on the internet and yap and yap and yap, this, don't be surprised that people are going to talk to you back. I, I, I just, uh, jokes on me. There's birds everywhere. Someone being in a relationship doesn't move me. It doesn't change what I said. Exactly. Because just because you have a girlfriend, it doesn't mean that what you said wasn't problematic. Again, you thinking that my entire comment was fully focused on you confirms all what I already know. Exactly. Because here is he saying, "Oh, at the time I was just only 400 subscribers. I'm just a little guy," and he said that he's just focused on being all defensive and stuff, and not really understanding. It just shows that he's either selfish, narcissistic, or something. You know, only focus on himself, something. And then he responds again underneath the comment that, and then he responds again to Nana, saying, "Yeah, your comment wasn't only about me, but it was like 70% about me." 70%? What the fuck? What the fuck? Like she mentioned you, but then was just uh I mean yeah, he mentioned you, but like he's making it out to be a more big of a problem than it needs to be. And five refers to things that I said in my video. A lot of people are offended by my video. Whether you count yourself as one is up to you. Offended? Well, yes, we were offended because you were being a jackass. And they were criticizing you. But you seem to think oh, they're just haters. They're just haters. I'm just going to ignore them. Like, I think you're realistically only critical of something when you disagree with it or take some offense to it. What the fuck? Otherwise, you would just be playing devil's advocate and looking for flaws in what was said, which is still a very annoying thing to do. What the fuck? People, of course, people are going to be critical of stuff that they take offense or disagree with. That's just a normal thing. If you disagree with something, of course you're gonna criticize it. Now, depending on how you're going to criticize it is like a different thing entirely. Because if you're going to criticize something, but you don't, if you're just shooting out baseless claims and stuff that's not rooted in evidence or experience, like, then that's a problem. But Nana's not speaking out of her ass here. She's sharing her experience and her patterns, like he said before, patterns that she's noticed while being in the space. And she's saying, "Oh, you're being critical at like a net, like." Oh my god. Anyway, he continues on saying, "I do think having a relationship with a woman for more than 1/3 of my life should at least count for something. But hey, that's still up to you." No, it doesn't. Like, no, I mean, if it's like 1/3 of your life and having a relationship, like, good on you for like keeping that relationship, for like maintaining that relationship so far, like, good on you. But still, that doesn't erase the fact that you said some pretty offensive shit in your video. I will say I get your point about the commentary thing. Other people may share similar opinions that may have some misogyny to them, but that's out of my control. If I didn't cover the topic, someone eventually would have. Yeah, and it's other people, and you have contributed to that issue of people, of men in the space saying comments to women, like harassing women, belittling women, and stuff like that. So that was the whole of the comments. Like, at least for right now, I don't know if Nana is still planning on responding to it or not, but that's like the whole of the comments. And since you want to be like, "Oh, I'm just sharing my experiences, this, that, and the third of patterns that I've said in that video, Mainways," well, I'm going to share my experiences and reiterate some of the points that people have experienced. I'm going to share my experience being a black woman in the space, not just in the gaming community, but just in life in general, just seeing the shit go down, especially in the recent political climate that we're in right now, especially in the US. I don't know where Mainway lives. I don't know where Nana lives. I don't know if she's also in the US as well. But, I'm just speaking from my experience being in the US, being a black woman, in America. I'll share some of my experiences. And I'm going to start off with another comment that was underneath my video, and I'm going to read it out to you. It was from a user named Teddy647, and they said, "I noticed a lot of people who accuse people of LARPing usually do it to women, and people who choose to play typically more effeminate games that aren't shooters, fighters, RPGs, or use lighter pastel colors, games like Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, Style Savvy, etc." And this is a thing that I've noticed, um, and not just in the gaming community, just like in general, there just seems to be like, um, society has placed such a negative connotation with society has just seemed to place this negative connotation on being being girly, being effeminate, and especially and restricting putting strict gender roles on men and women. Like, if you're a woman, you're seen as lesser than, you're seen as weak, you're seen as unintelligent, and you're seen as an object. And if men display if any like feminine qualities or stuff that society seems as like feminine, they demonize them in any way. And this type of thing not only affects women on a daily basis, but it will also affect men on a daily basis, because it would prevent men, like, emotions are seen as feminine, and expressing your emotion is just a healthy thing of being a human being. So when you place that negativity, this negative connotation on that, and to men, and saying like, "Oh, if you cry, you're this to like a man," that just sets up some unhealthy behaviors um that ends up developing some unhealthy behaviors. And even if and also addition to that, if you're a man but you like quote unquote girly things, you're treated as lesser than, or you're saying that you're not a man if you like girly stuff. And it's just a bit of problem for a long time in today's society. And and also me being in this space, like, every time I've seen um women just being just trying to like engage in the community. She's harassed, and everything. She's called names and everything like that, and especially sometimes with misogyny, right? Sometimes you'll get like the obvious losers on the internet saying, "Oh, you need to go back into the kitchen and stuff like that, blah 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 blah." But then you will get like the subtle behaviors that mask that misogyny. And a lot of the time when I see women being harassed on the internet to this extent, and it's normally by men, and they try to hide this misogyny by just saying, by just criticizing, you know, like I don't even know how to put this into words, but you know, as a witch, right? I a few times I've noticed when the universe is trying to give me signs, messages, trying to nudge me in the right direction, or saying, "Hey, you did a good thing. I'm going to help. I'm going to reaffirm that what you did was a good thing," or "Hey, you've done a good thing. Let me help you out a little bit." Like I've seen that happened to me a couple of times now, and I know when the universe is trying to help me out here. So while I after I made that video and everything, there were a couple videos that popped up in my recommended that I just wanted to like point out. So aside from like that, so it happened once with that thing on Twitter that I mentioned about people bullying this creator for simply not playing all the Zelda games, saying she was a fake fan. Like honestly, I use that as an example, and the universe just handed that to me. The other thing that I noticed was something that happened, a creator, and I saw this video by a creator, and she was a Minecraft creator, and she was a woman, and she was detailing her experience as a woman being in the Minecraft community, and um it was by JoJo, and she was like detailing her experiences. I'll link um her video in the description. Um but yeah, like it pretty much if you I would encourage that you watch the video to like really understand like her experiences, to really understand the amount of harassment that women get in these spaces, you know. And another thing that I got that the universe just showed me was this video by the creator 𝗧𝗶𝗱𝗀𝘀, and it was a video that I shared in my community tab, and it was like by "It's only overconsumption when women buy things." So anything that woman does in society, right? It's just men just want to criticize us for every little thing, saying all sorts of mean shit for to us, even though sometimes we do the same things that men do. So collecting so much Pokemon cards and trying to and being obsessed over getting the best ones as a man, like society doesn't criticize that. Oh, but collecting Labubus and stuff like that, or collecting Stanleys, or collecting all these charms or all these pins and stuff like that, collecting all these stickers, suddenly that's a problem. Suddenly that's a problem. And and it's not just in on the internet and in these spaces as well. The misogyny just bleeds into everyday life, right? In society, women aren't being taken seriously in society, and it causes us serious problems that affect our health and our well-being and our ability to live. When we go to the doctor, um we are often dismissed because we're a girl and stuff like that. The doctors don't take us seriously, and sometimes we end up having serious health complications because of that. And especially in black women, right? Especially in black women. Like I'm sure some of y'all saw the video that came out where the asshole white nurse was being non-helpful at all, while the black lady was in the chair, she was giving birth and everything like that, and rightfully so. Everybody was mad, and I haven't seen much updates in regards to that, but I hope that lady got fired, and I hope the black family got compensation because I think the baby suffered complications because of that. And something that I've noticed in like a lot of these communities that I've been at as on my time being in the internet and just surviving in society overall, there's an issue with misogyny, there's an issue with racism, and there's an issue with anti-LGBTQ plus um um behavior, right? And especially in recent times, there's been like behavior from Christians that directed towards religions that aren't Christian. So, and especially now, like um and all the bullshit that's been happening at the White House, and you know it's just thing after thing after thing that this damn president has been doing, and nobody seems to in the government, Congress, the Supreme Court is doing fuck all to keep things under control and to boot this man out of office, right? So seeing the misogyny, the racism, the anti-LGBTQ plus to, to support, and this whole Christian nationalism, right? I have no fucking patience for all of that. So don't mind me while I'm blowing a gasket over the bullshit that man was saying, because as a black woman, I've seen these things. It's always a problem when us as when us women are just trying to participate in the same spaces that men are in, and oftentimes it's not like we're trying to encroach on these spaces either. Sometimes we're just in our own little communities doing our own things, and somehow there's men who just seem to have a problem and just seem to want to start complaining for no goddamn reason. And you know I've mentioned this before, but as you know, I'm studying to have like a computer science degree, right? So in one of my classes, right, it was a class where we learned how to use Word, spreadsheet, and another thing, right, database thing, I think. And the first day of class, I walked in, and I was the only girl there, and the teacher the teacher was a girl, um, and she noticed that I was the only girl in her class, and she was like, "Oh, this is," I'm like, "There's only one girl in the class," and I was like, and then bless his heart, there was like my classmate. He was like, "Oh, maybe there might be more coming in." And bless him, I hope him the best. I hope his life is filled with wealth and prosperity. I hope that he's blessed with a good partner if he's interested in relationships. I hope nothing but the best for him, and that he uses his talents for the good of all. Like, man, like but this is like the first time I've ever been like the only female in a class, and it was an experience. And thank God I didn't have any problems with the rest of the male classmates that I didn't have any problems in that class. The teacher was cool. As a woman, a African American woman being in the space, like, there's a lot of misogyny, there's a lot of racism, and you're fucked if you're both African American and a woman. Ultra fucked if you have a darker skin color, because colorism is still a thing. So, yeah, just as a black woman interacting in these spaces, like, I see the negativity that men direct towards women, and it's not just a one-off um thing either. It's a constant thing. It's like, even even if it's just a small percent of the community, it's a very loud percent, right? It's a very loud percent. And this community, this is supposed to be a fun thing. We all love the 3DS, we all love playing on the 3DS. This should just be a fun thing, a fun activity, and instead of fighting amongst each other, and dictating, oh, what dictating um how we should use our 3DS, we should just embrace that people are using their 3DS in unique and fun ways, and they're having fun with their 3DS. Why are we going after people for using the 3DS in ways that you wouldn't do.
We have seen a rise in cozy gaming for the past few years, but women and girls have always been a part of the gaming community. We now make half of the gaming demographic, and companies are taking notice.
I know in my last video, I talked about like the person who was gatekeeping the 3DS, and I just really feel like it's been a day since I recorded and posted that video, at least from the time that I'm recording this, and it's still on my mind. And I overall just think it's just really ridiculous to to like gatekeep and try to like judge people based on how they decorate their things, like, and especially the comments about, young girls and other like women in the space like decorating their 3DS. Like, I kind of had some more points I wanted to add to that. There, I know the annoyance when it comes to like the whole, overconsumption that these girls are, or young women are like participating in online at the moment. Like, I understand like the annoyance because it seems like I don't know if this type of behavior is coming from TikTok or wherever else, but at least on TikTok, at least from like other videos discussing people, on TikTok, it seems like there's just a problem with other creators on there just like partaking in overconsumption and just not really collecting things in a healthy way. Like, I wouldn't mind the whole Labubu stuff if these creators were just like collecting these dolls and these figures in a healthy way instead of, worrying about getting the cutest one, or like wasting hundreds and hundreds of dollars trying to get ones that they considered to be worth having. Like, you know, I don't, like I said in the other video, like, I don't mind the whole collecting hobby as long as it's done safely and responsibly. And a lot of the times when people interact with like at least people on TikTok, not, I know not all people are doing it, but at least it seems like a good portion or a loud portion of that community on TikTok seems to not know how to like partake in hobbies and partake in activities like responsibly and safely. And it seems like that's just a problem in general, with like overconsuming and just buying a whole bunch of shit you don't need. So, you know, and I know that's like a bit of like an annoyance with some people, but I think at the same time, just because like a group of people aren't doing stuff in a healthy way doesn't mean that everybody's doing it. And to try to equate this style of sticker bombing your consoles and everything as a definitive indicator that this person is like one of those Labubu um consumption, these aesthetically, um like like people who just don't um consume stuff proper like in a healthy way. Like, I think that's kind of an unfair take. Sticker bombing and like crafting and decorating your consoles is just another fun activity that is just another fun activity that people can have, and it doesn't have to be young girls or young ladies too. It could be anyone. It doesn't matter if you're a man or woman or identify as non-binary. If you like sticker bombing your shit, then sticker bomb your shit. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I know we've come a long way in like the gaming space as a whole, in terms of how we interact and how we treat women in this space, but I still feel like that there's still things that we have to improve on. Like, I was in Bog Witch's Twitch stream one time. Bog Witch, she is, oops, I am writing this on the wrong thing. Whoops. Bog Witch is like a Stardew Valley author. She makes really good mods. And, I believe on one of the VODs that she's uploaded to YouTube, she's mentioned the type of treatment that she and others have received in the space when she was like working for one of these companies. And she also goes into more detail in one of the recent streams that I participated in, and she goes into detail with, the mistreatment that women in this space are still going through even now, and especially with how the E-Man files come into play. Like, she pretty much reveals that, these social media spaces have been intentionally red pilled. And it's kind of really unfortunate, and I guess it kind of makes sense given the current state of social media and especially our governments right now. And I'm kind of like frustrated that this is what has happened and that they were allowed to get away with it. Um, but yeah, just thinking about that and also thinking about the comments that this person said, it kind of just feels a little bit misogynistic if you think about it. Judging girls for like decorating their own consoles. Like, we're um we've been fighting so hard to be treated equally in the space, and now we're getting, recognition. But it seems like, some people are taking advantage of that. Like I said, that I mentioned in the other video of like, um when I mentioned that there are creators who have exposed like a business for taking advantage of people who, and especially young girls and young ladies who want 3DSs and ESs, and they're taking advantage of that. And especially with these companies too that are just giving us, that are just putting out cozy slap games and not really putting much effort into them. Like, people are recognizing that a lot more girls are interacting with the spaces now. But I feel like, um, you know, with that in mind, um, it's pretty annoying that we're still getting individuals who want to take advantage of girls who are gamers. And I think whether you like sticker bombing your consoles or not, like, I don't really think that it's warranted to get hate for just doing something you love. And even if you are somebody who loves collecting Labubu's and other like cutesy accessories and hoards a whole bunch of stickers and whatnot, um, I think that if you're participating in consumption like responsibly, you're not over consuming, you're not buying a whole bunch of stuff you don't need, and you're doing it responsibly, like as long as you're having fun with it and you're doing it safely, I don't, whether what no matter what stuff you have, as long as you're having fun and you're happy and you're safe, it shouldn't really matter to anybody else really. So yeah, I'm going to still sticker bomb my consoles and still decorate my consoles however I wish. And if you find passion in that, you should continue doing that, you know? Like, some people were able to take their love of crafting stuff and, turn it into something better. I've seen, with hamster buttocks, she has made like, she's decorated her consoles in a way that I haven't seen anybody else decorate their consoles, like using polymer clay, using silicone, like doing other things. She makes 3DS themes and she's actively uploading them onto the 3DS theme plaza. So she's able to turn that and able to give back to the community in that way. And then there's Kawaii Fans who's able to create, um, turn her crafts and make a profit from them, like turn her passion into a way that she can make some money. And, and I think that's really nice, a nice thing to have. I always like appreciate people who are able to turn their passions into like a source of income, and they're able to do what they love. um, get rewarded for the stuff that they love and like earn money for like doing what they love to do. So yeah, I don't think, um I just think that it's like really amazing. Just like, don't get mad at people for try using their consoles in the way that they want to use them. As long as they're not hurting themselves or anybody else, um it shouldn't really be anybody else's problem, I feel like. So yeah, that's just some additional information about that.
Like, we've come a long way, um, as a society and also in the game community of accepting women in the space. Like I know right now, currently in the U.S. and also in the U.K., that there's a lot of fascist and regression going on in terms of all the effort that women have been trying to put in. But we've come a long way of like accepting women in the space and welcoming women in the space. But I feel like we need to do a lot better with that. Yeah. So like these, especially with what's been going down in the E-Man files and everything, these social medias is like there's just been attempts to try and push women down and to exploit women, and it's an ongoing problem. So when you're not a part of the grand demographic, right? And you say something offensive and another about another demographic, and then that demographic comes in and tells you that they took offense to that and are explaining to you why what you said is harmful. You shouldn't be dismissing their feelings. You shouldn't be labeling them as haters and stuff like that, because as a woman, as a black woman living in this space, living in America, living in society, being in the 3DS space and interacting in the internet in general, I can tell you from the patterns that I've been seeing on the internet, what you said was insensitive, it was misogynistic, and everything like that. And considering that you haven't hammered into your fucking brain that what you said is misogynist and you're just dismissing everybody as haters, I'm going to label you as a misogynist, whether you have a girlfriend or not, because having a girlfriend, unless you are willing to change to be a better person for your girlfriend, if you having a girlfriend hasn't changed how you see and interact with women on the space, and you're just going to double down on your insensitive comments, and you're just going to argue with other women in the space about why your comments are harmful and understanding where they're coming from, you're a misogynist. I'm sorry. I don't like putting labels on people like that, but as you can see, living in America currently is a shit show. I don't have any patience for certain behaviors, right? I don't have any patience for certain behaviors. And considering that this man just doesn't seem to want to understand why are his comments about women interacting in the space are harmful, and especially other with the other gatekeeping stuff in the video as well. Like I I just don't understand, like I like given the behavior that I've seen over and over again in the spaces that I'm in, like I'm just gonna label him as such unless he can unless he can change his behavior, because making jokes at the expense of women, having this snarky ass attitude and then arguing with another woman in the space, ignoring the other woman underneath his comment section, telling him that what he said was misogynistic and wrong and everything like that, it's just so fucking annoying. And what's also pretty annoying too is like I had an idea to make like a specific video, and it's like surrounding the 3DS, and I was planning on making a tutorial on how to get started on making 3DS homebrew, because I like the 3DS. I like coding and everything. There's not a lot of information on the internet right now on how to get started on doing that. So I was going to prepare my stuff and make a video for you guys. But considering the misogyny that's happening right now in the 3DS community, I'm like kind of annoyed. I mean, I'm still gonna make the video and post it anyway. But y'all, if I see any misogynistic pieces of shit find themselves underneath my video, they're gonna be fucking hidden, because I have no fucking patience. We need to be more welcoming to women. We're not weak. We're not um unintelligent. We deserve the same respect as you men do in the space. And you guys don't realize that, because um if you don't display like feminine qualities, like you're treated differently. You're treated favorably as as opposed to women and men who who engage in like feminine, who express their femininity. Like, it's like, just because you may haven't experienced it yourself and it may not affect you doesn't mean that the situation doesn't affect um other people. It doesn't mean that it's not going on. This is like the same behavior that I see when in terms of like racism and everything, and especially in the Sims community. Like, y'all see, if y'all uh, watch my previous videos in regards to like the EA buyout, like there's just a lot of people in that space that are just sticking their heads in the sand and saying all sorts of bullshit because it's not like this buyout isn't going to affect them, but in reality it's going to affect everybody in the space. But it's going to hit particularly hard for the LGBTQ plus people and the women in that space. So yeah, like, it's just like that same behavior. And I'm like, y'all, y'all, you know, like, this type of misogyny, it affects your family members, it affects your friends, it affects like any men in your life that aren't traditionally manly or whatever, right? So I just wanted to come, like, I my when just reading those comments from this man and just seeing like the bullshit that he was saying, like, I just had to come on here and make this video and like reiterate that, this is a problem within the community, right? Like, I think that regardless of who somebody is or what the person is, who they are, what their gender is, who they identify or who they identify as, what religion they practice or don't practice, as long as they're having fun and are doing the thing that they're doing safely and responsibly, there shouldn't be any complaints. Like, I said this in my community post, and I said this underneath Net's video. Like, as long as people are having fun, being safe, and being responsible, like, there shouldn't be any problems. So, just seeing this thing go down, it just makes me super frustrated that there are still men in the space that just don't respect women. And and they want all the respect and they want the same respect back, but you don't deserve respect if you're not giving that same respect back. What you put out is what you're gonna get back, and karma's a bitch. So if you're gonna continue on with this behavior, you're gonna end up um uh, um shooting yourself in the foot at one point. You're gonna end up shooting yourself in the foot. So I don't know. My thoughts were just racing during this whole video, and I woke up at like 7:30 in the morning. Like, when I first saw that this man responded underneath my video and was arguing with Nana in the comments. Like, I was reading it, I got mad. I woke up, I got up, I took a shower, then went back to sleep, but I didn't go back to sleep till 11, and I woke up at like 7:30 in the morning. So my sleep schedule was ruined because you wanted to be a fucking smartass in the comments. And now you're invoking a witch's wrath because you want to be a fucking smartass underneath my comments. And if you keep this up, I might end up hiding you on my channel because there's no excuse for that type of behavior, right? There's no excuse. I'm not going to tolerate misogyny. I'm not going to tolerate that kind of behavior. Not on my channel. And I'm definitely not going to tolerate it towards the female creators in the space that are minding their own fucking business. They're engaging with their own communities and stuff like that. Like, we're not bothering you. We're not fucking bothering you. So why are you fucking complaining? Why are you fucking complaining? Like, no. Anyway, I'm sorry that this was a bit of a rant kind of video. Like, looking at the footage on my tablet, I'm going on for like about an hour. This video is going to be probably a long video, but I just wanted to make this video and respond and say that why this is like harmful and stuff like that. It's always a problem. when women want to do more than what society has assigned them to do, like, which is just bullshit. Like, I feel like no matter who you are or what you are, or regardless, like, I feel like you should be able to express yourself freely in the space that you're in and engage in whatever interests you, as long as you're being safe and you're making, and you're not putting others in harm's way, and you're having fun. Like, honestly, I just feel like this whole situation is just sad. It is really just sad. We were just minding our own fucking business, and then this man came along, spread shooting out nonsense as a video, and it still isn't understanding why what he said is a problem. So I I'm exhausted, bro. I'm fucking exhausted. Anyway, I hope y'all have a good rest of your day slash night slash afternoon, wherever you guys are in the world, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which might be my 3DS homebrew video. Um, anyway, blessed be everybody. Goodbye.